Been a few hours, but it felt like days. Only been days, but it felt like months. Been gone for a year, only know like once. Life moves fast when you do.
Hey guys, and welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, I'm Lacey. I teach middle school.
And I'm Celeste. I'm a high school counselor.
And we are on our fall break. This is her last day of fall break, my first day of fall break. And
first and last day.
We just wanted to do a sit down video because we hardly ever see each other on weekdays, like literally never.
Yeah.
So we are going to do agree to disagree. We're going to talk about real life, talk about our opinions. Join the conversation in the comments. Let us know how you feel and what you think about any of the things that we are talking about.
All right, let's get started.
The first one is that gender roles are untrue and unfair. We're the same. We're best friends for a reason. Tell me why you agree versus, strongly agree.
So I don't strongly agree. I really don't have a reason why I don't strongly agree. I just didn't want to choose strongly agree because strongly agree is just so strong. And for this one, I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like I just agree with this statement.
Yeah, and I feel like they might be unfair, they might be untrue, but naturally women are more emotional, nurturing, and men are more strong and whatever. Masculine, whatever the words are, because I'm not a man. But so I do feel like it is unfair, but I do feel like most of us do fit in those categories. So that's why I said agree. Like, I definitely agree it's not really fair, but naturally that's just how we are.
All right, so the second one is technology makes people less smart.
Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna go with agree again. Why do you agree and not strongly or disagree?
So I agree because I feel like if you spend a lot of time on technology, just phones in general, computers, social media, whatever, like I just feel like you're spending less time away from what you could be, or when you could be learning something different or learning something new.
Yeah, so I feel like if we need to know something, we can Google it and it'll tell us what we need to know. But there's also some things, like when we were kids, we learned from experience. And now I feel like kids just Google the answer and depend on that. And I've noticed even with some of my students, they might think I don't know, but they use AI or they try to Google stuff for like the classwork assignments. But then when it comes to the quiz, do they know it?
No,
they don't.
Absolutely not.
So I feel like people use it as a crutch. And then when it comes to assessments, they don't really know the information because Google is not for memorization. Google is a quick answer. So they're not really gaining information. It's kind of scary how.
Yeah. Think about a doctor.
Yeah, it's very scary for sure.
Yeah, that's definitely scary.
And then this one is kind of similar, but it's just specifically social media. So the third controversial topic is social media sets unrealistic expectations.
Okay, so I agree because if you're thinking about something like Instagram or like Instagram models or like even like things on like YouTube, or it's always something that is better than what you're doing. And so I feel like it always gives that, that false sense of like comparing yourself. And so yeah, definitely you already know it gives you unrealistic expectations.
Yeah, piggybacking off of that, I agree. I don't strongly agree because social media is supposed to just be a place where you share pictures and videos. It is not TikTok's fault. It is not Facebook's fault, Instagram. It's not the app's fault or the creator's fault that it became toxic. It's really us who choose to compare ourselves. Like it's something in us, I guess, our anxiety, our insecurities. So that's why I agreed, but I didn't strongly agree because yes, definitely we see a lot of unrealistic stuff. I feel like when we were in school, it was not that bad. Like people would post stuff, you would post anything. Now you have to post picture perfect stuff.
Absolutely. If it's not picture perfect, it's not worth it.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like it's changed over the years and it's just getting more and more toxic. And again, it's because of us users. It's not because of the social media, for sure.
All right, so the next one is being popular. It's more important than being intelligent. All right, I got disagree. Okay, strongly disagree. Absolutely. So I disagree with this one because obviously, for obvious reasons. Like, okay, what is being like and being popular gonna get you? Okay, I take that back.
Well, in high school,
maybe,
middle school,
but even like
that
social
seems
media.
everything to you.
And then like
Okay.
you know, you think about social media influencers, they live off of being popular and being liked. So, but it's still not more important than being intelligent, because obviously, because of life reasons and just in life in general, you need intelligence. Like,
yeah, and I would say in the real world, yes, influencers, but 99% of people are not influencers, and I feel like being popular, that's not a word that I would use to describe myself, or a goal that I'm striving for to be popular. Being intelligent will get you more places, especially if you want a good job, like if you want to go to college, or even like trade school, military, whatever. You do have to use your brains more than you can use being popular. You can't put being popular on a resume, and I've never ever had the goal of being popular in my adult life, so I definitely disagree. That's why
popular, Lacey.
I know that's right. I know my name is in a lot of people's mouths. Next one is a very touchy subject, and it's a very recent subject, and it is arming educators is the solution to school violence. I said educators because counselors are not exempt from being in danger as well.
I'm gonna do agree and disagree.
Okay.
So I'm kind of like neutral.
Yeah. I'm kind of neutral too, but I feel like I'm more on the disagree side.
Yeah.
But what do you think?
So I'm neutral because, okay, so it obviously won't stop or prevent school violence, only because we can't always, you know, protect what's coming in the school. But protecting or arming educators can give like a sense of protection to the educators. It possibly can help, but I definitely don't think it can prevent school violence from happening.
Yeah, like that's why I put disagree, because I feel like it is not the solution. I feel like there are things that can be done, but I feel like that's the last option. I would be nervous going to work, kind of feeling like, oh, I'm in charge of this very dangerous thing. I don't know, it just makes me nervous because I just don't want to live in a life or work a job where I have to do that every day.
Especially like as educators, we don't always, or we obviously don't have training most of the time. There are some people that may be more comfortable with, you know, carrying weapons or, you know, using weapons, but most of the time we don't get that training. And so just making those decisions over life and death is just
scary, and a lot of times it's someone who goes to the school, and I could not imagine hurting somebody. So moving on, because that's depressing.
Yeah, that's a touchy subject.
We're gonna move on to a friendship topic. The last few are friendship, relationship type topics.
The friendships are about quality and not quantity. Okay, me either.
You're doing
strongly agree.
As usual, we are in sync.
Yes.
Of course, on a friendship one.
Yeah.
I feel like as you get older, you kind of realize this. I feel like in school, I was always like trying to talk to everyone to have more friends. I feel like I was always texting someone, what's the move for the weekend? It was cool to be busy. It was cool to have plans. As I've gotten older, I definitely have a few close friends. I have one main best friend right here next to me. I do have some other people I consider best friends, but they're more long distance. So right now it's a phone relationship. But I probably have like 5 close friends that I can count on one hand. And I just feel like I maintain the friendship with them. I put everything, all my effort into those friendships, long distance or in person. I feel like it's draining as an adult to feel like, oh my gosh, I need to keep up with all these people just so I can say that I have all these friends. And we all have adult jobs. We're all grown. Like, I feel like we're past the point where we need to just have a whole bunch of friends. Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely quality over quantity. It's just a lot. Friendships are a lot, and especially if you're doing it right. And if you value friendships and do what you're supposed to do in your friendships, it takes time, it takes effort, and all of this. But if you have like 15 friends, how are you gonna make time for 15 people? Like, you can't do it. So definitely quality over quantity, because I would just rather have 2 friends than 15 that I can't keep up with. You know what I mean? Especially as a mom, like, I don't have time to keep up with 15 people.
And we don't even ask for a lot of each other. It's just like the fact that we think about each other. Like, we'll send each other a text like, here's a Bible verse, or just thinking of you. And like, we always say I love you to each other. Like, we just are very intentional about what we say, and it's not even about how often we talk. It's just about like what we are talking about, like the fact that we're thinking of each other. Definitely quality over quantity.
Yes.
The next one is kind of a relationship one.
Okay.
So
spicy.
living together before marriage is not necessary. You want to come sit down? Special guest in and out of the video, right, buddy?
I'm not neutral, but I would say agree.
Okay.
Yeah. I agree because I don't feel like it's a requirement or necessary. Like, I feel like you can find out about a person once you're married and living together. I don't feel like it's a requirement.
Yeah, same thing. I put agree as well because I feel like it's definitely not something you have to do. I understand why people do. I've said this before, but when me and my husband first moved in together, we had to learn each other's habits, and it's not even about cleanliness. It was just other things like, you know, how much time are we going to spend together? How much time is he going to spend with his family? Because his family's down here. Mine's still in Atlanta. Just our habits. What time do you wake up? Like, it was an adjustment. I do see why people do live together, but it's definitely not a requirement.
Yeah, absolutely not. All right, a family should always be number one. Yeah, I agree.
We have two different experiences, but we both still agree. So I feel like that's kind of interesting. So what do you think?
So I agree because at the end of the day, all else fails. Family is the last person or the last people that can be there. Not saying that, you know, friends won't be there, but just in general, life happens. Family, you know, most of the time you can count on. So that's why I just prioritize, because family, you know, obviously are your kids, and you know, you think about that. And so, yeah, family number one.
I agree because even though I've had a lot of family issues, like that's still my family, and I feel like ever since you're a kid, it's ingrained in you, like honor your father and mother, like family is everything. And I still have that mindset, even though I don't see them as much. I can honestly say I probably see them 2-3 times a year, just because right now that's what's best. When I do see them, I do pour into them. I have nieces and nephews. I adore them. I miss them every day. So they definitely still are a priority, but sometimes space is a little bit healthier for the relationship. Sometimes when you're too close, that's when you butt heads the most.
Absolutely.
So definitely still a number one priority. And I'm married, so he can be considered that too.
Absolutely.
I mean, that kind of leads us to the next one. The last topic is when you get married, or I guess since you have kids, that could be that too. When you get married / when you have a baby, that becomes your family versus like your parents, like, you know, what you would typically think of.
Strongly agree. I strongly agree on that one.
Me too.
Because obviously marriage, you become one. That is your family. His family is also your family. And then too, when you have kids, that is your priority, that is your family, that is your everything.
I always joke with my husband, like, who gets the passenger seat, me or your mom? Like, I feel like I see that debate on Facebook, and I'm just, you know, we're laughing and joking. But, like, I feel like that's a real debate. When you get married, who is supposed to be your family? Who's supposed to be your number one priority? And some people think it's the spouse. Some people still think it's the parent. It just depends on what you think, but I do feel like your spouse, you are one. You're not necessarily one with your parents. Yes, you can still value them, spend time with them. That's still your family, of course. It doesn't make them not family, but when you get married, it's a different kind of relationship. Absolutely. And when you have a kid, like, do you feel like when you say, oh, me and my family, like, you mainly are talking about Preston. And then your parents and whoever else? Okay.
Absolutely.
We are going to end the video here. There's honestly like 1,000 topics we could talk about, so definitely comment down below if you want a part 2. This one is demanding our attention, so we're gonna have to stop it here. And if you want to see more videos like this, make sure you comment down below, like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We're trying to get to 2K by 2025. I'm not sure if we'll get there, but we trying. So we will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.